You'll be taking a look at some vacations turned deadly.
Okay, that does not sound pleasant.
Oh my God, deadly?
I love true crime. I was just listening to My Favorite Murder on the way here. I'm a little skeptical, but I'm here for it.
In 2005, the world witnessed on national television the shocking news of the disappearance of
This is a popular one.
Natalee Holloway, oh my God, I know this one.
May 26, 2005. 145 students, accompanied by 7 chaperones.
Hold up, 7 chaperones? The ratio is not even like, what?
In Aruba for a 5-day unofficial graduation trip.
Oh, they've got money.
Chaperones checked in on the students daily, but did not escort them around the area or to venues. It revealed that they regularly changed rooms among each other at night, and were partying and drinking all
Of course, there's always drinking involved.
30th, 2005, Natalee and her classmates were scheduled to fly home from the Caribbean, but she never showed up at the airport to board the plane.
Yeah, this is just such a bad combo, like a bunch of teens and drinking and being not anywhere in an area that you're familiar with.
Getting into a car with residents Joran Vandersloot and brothers Deepak and Satish Kalpo.
Okay, maybe false memory, but I feel like I remember Sloot being some rich kid.
Claimed not to know Natalee's name or who she was.
They're lying.
Deepak Kalpo, they changed their story. The young men stated that they'd taken Natalee to a local spot to see sharks, and then took her to the
it's always that quick change up,
officers. She had stumbled and refused help, and as they drove away, he noticed a man in a dark uniform approaching her. He said the uniform was similar to the security guard's apparel at the hotels. Police arrested Vandersloot and the 2 Kalpo brothers again. Unsurprisingly, the 3 men's stories changed again when they were arrested and questioned.
Come on, one time is a little much.
They paid off 2 police
The second time is a lot.
2010, Vandersloot contacted Betty Twitty's legal representative in exchange for a total of $250,000. He would disclose the location of Natalee's body.
Imagine being so narcissistic that you offer money to give details of a crime.
I think more about the parents, how messed up that is, to think oh, your kid's gonna celebrate this, amazing event in life, and you trust the people that they're with, and you think that they're just gonna have a good time, and it just totally turns to crap.
Sheila von Wiesmack and her daughter Heather checked into these near $1,000 a night rooms at the St. Regis Resort. To Sheila's surprise, Tommy Schaefer, Heather's boyfriend, suddenly arrived on a $12,000 flight from Chicago.
Where do these people get this money from?
Him entering Sheila's hotel room.
Are they plotting to kill the mom?
Stuffed under his shirt.
Is this like a mommy dead and dearest situation?
Tommy are seen heading to the
Oh no.
which they place in the back of a taxi.
I've never seen this one. I watch Crime Daily a lot. Crime Watch Daily a lot.
The abandoned luggage to the police station that they find out what's inside.
Yeah.
The bloodied, half-naked body of Sheila.
Bruh, there was blood on the suitcase?
Wow.
Before asphyxiating
Well, that took a turn.
Tommy. That expletive Heather is crazy.
Oh my God.
Something really insane. She asked me to find someone to kill her mom for $50K. And that was a full 6 months before the murder.
What in the thoroughbreds?
These texts reveal the plan was for Heather to kill her mother herself. Tommy writes,
Wow. How do you...
Can you whack her in the head with a big-ass pole? Mack responds, can you?
Jeez.
Tommy, yes, come in the hallway right now. A panel of Indonesian judges did find them guilty of murder. Heather given 10 years in prison, Tommy 18.
Only 10 years?
She should have been in, well, they both should have been in prison for way longer.
This is a person that took care of you since you were a baby. What made you snap for you to just get rid of her?
I can't even fathom the idea of losing my mom. So the idea of someone being able to do something that is one of my biggest fears is absolutely unhinged.
The year was 2017.
Oh, it's not even that far back.
July celebration at their family's vacation home. Peggy Lammers' husband and daughter returned to Cleveland, while Peggy stayed in Virginia to enjoy a few quiet days alone.
Okay, yes, Queen.
When Peggy's husband couldn't reach her, he called the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office.
The deputy
Okay, the journalist was a smoke show. I want to start there, but...
Inside, a telescope toppled over. Then, down
it's like a struggle.
A gruesome scene. Peggy in a pool of blood.
Your family just left and you're staying by yourself. It's dang, it's the perfect setup for anybody if they're watching you or anything. And that sucks that you can't enjoy things like this because of these kind of things.
The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide. The cause, blunt force trauma to the head.
That'll do it.
She was ambushed in this hallway.
That leads you to believe that it was maybe somebody that knew the house?
I would think so. Knew she was alone.
You think you're so safe, but anything could happen to anybody.
A ceiling light was partially shattered, a puzzle knocked over, everything in the medicine cabinet thrown into the sink. The bedroom
Weird.
was also
I would never think to go look in a medicine cabinet. That seems very specific. Because if you're gonna come into my bathroom, all you're getting is moisturizer.
There's so many different aspects that you see just singly in a lot of like true crime, where it's like, she was murdered. Was that the MO? They ransacked the place. Was that the MO?
You just can't be naive, right? Like, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go on a family vacation and do all this stuff, but it's like anything can happen, you know, to anybody.
There was an Airbnb that was owned by 3 men. The men
That was the first problem.
had another booking for their 4th bedroom. It was a man named Ramis.
Oh, okay. It was a space in a home.
3-day stay.
It's always a little
Ramis
scary.
Found himself confiding in Craig about his current situation. You know that he really.
I don't trust your based on the salt rock in the background, but keep going.
Around him, and he's really desperate for any.
It's so sad because like they make it seem like they're, you know, going through something, but they're a little, you know, something's going on up there.
Begging Craig Levy to let him stay there longer for free. Eventually, Craig actually gave in, and he told Ramis that he could stay there until the end of the week, but then he had to be out. 2 days go by, and then Craig Levy changes his mind. He told Ramis that he wanted him to pay for all the nights that he'd stayed. Even
The desperation comes back.
There's a prior agreement that they wouldn't do that, you know?
Old boy is in the wrong. Craig is, because you can't renege, man.
Craig decided to go and confront Ramis and get this money and get him out of the house.
Oh, it's gonna be like a shootout or something.
He said he didn't have the keys anymore. A couple of days prior, he'd actually been arrested by police and had his keys taken off of him. Craig starts flying off the handle.
Well, if he got out of prison, they would have probably given him the keys back, right?
Jason lunged forward, got Ramis in a headlock, and started beating him over the head, physically attacking him.
Oh, okay. Not how I
It took
expected
about
this to go.
5 seconds for Craig to also join in. Once again, it really didn't take Ryan that long to join in either. So now there are 3 men beating, kicking, punching Ramis, who is on the floor, defenseless.
Some might call
At
this a
point,
jumping.
Craig Levy walks inside the house and calls the police. That was that maybe Craig thought the police would come and help them get the money out of Ramis.
He still thought he was right.
Of course, they were not on their side. They ran straight over to Ramis. Ramis Jonuzi was pronounced dead.
Wait, so they beat him to death?
The whole gang were in the wrong. You allowed him to stay. At most, it's like, get your things and get out.
The Airbnb that this murder took place already had a number of bad reviews. How important are housing reviews to any vacation stay?
Oh, for me, super important.
Not even just about the Airbnb itself, but like the surrounding area to see if that's safe too.
I mean, you always want to search through the Yelps and be like, were you or your family members murdered here? If the price is good, like maybe bring a cousin you're willing to kind of get rid of. If you don't have any in your immediate family that you don't like, then I'd probably stay away. Maybe a hotel.
And so on July 20th,
Cruise ships. Someone's fallen off a cruise ship.
Kenneth, Kristy, their 3 daughters, and
I'm scared of cruises.
boarded the Emerald Princess in Seattle to go on a 7-day cruise through Alaska.
I think I've done this cruise, and I think it was the Emerald Princess.
Kenneth sent his daughters away to the adjoining cabin the girls were sharing.
Okay.
After closing the door behind them, the girls heard the lock. And moments later, the argument began to escalate even more. She wanted a divorce, and as she said this, she began laughing. Kenneth completely lost control.
Bro, on a
The
cruise?
couple's daughters began hearing their mother crying and screaming for help. Panicked, they began hitting the door trying to get it open.
Oh, see, at least like they were trying to help.
Their father screamed for them to stay away. One of the girls ran to the balcony and leaned over to see what was happening inside.
That's
And when she
traumatizing.
did, she saw her father was punching her mother repeatedly while they were on the bed. At 9
In cold blood, just in front of your kids like that?
notified and ran to cabin D726. Kenneth and Kristy were covered in blood.
I don't like that there's a balcony. I feel like I know what's about to happen.
The family made it just in time as Kenneth was dragging Kristy's body to the balcony with the intent to throw her overboard.
Wow!
To grab Kristy's ankle and drag her body back inside, Kenneth began screaming that he would be the one to jump overboard.
Oh
But before he
no.
did, security entered the room and handcuffed him.
Thank God, crazy ass. You don't get to go out like that.
Family members would later testify that when they found Kenneth next to Kristy's motionless body, he told them, "She wouldn't stop laughing at me."
As soon as it said she was laughing, I was like, and that's what did it for him.
Maybe he doesn't realize this, but people laugh for all sorts of reasons besides thinking something that is funny.
Most horrible part out of all of this, I mean, aside from her being dead, was the girls. You have ruined your kids for the rest of their life.
I've been laughed at before, and luckily I didn't murder anyone after doing that. And I think that's one of my best qualities.
A body has been found burned beyond recognition in a fire pit.
Oh, God.
Sheldon Stewart lies in a hospital bed recovering from multiple knife wounds he says were inflicted by his best friend.
That looked like self-harm.
What the
At first, detectives fear Trevor may be on a murderous rampage at Bucks Lake.
Was it Trevor?
Ew, look at his face. Do you see that? There's like no soul behind those eyes.
Autopsy results for the charred body. It's a shocker. It's
Trevor
Holminski.
Okay.
Trevor had actually been stabbed in his back.
I was gonna say that's sus.
Being incinerated in a campfire pit. Investigators are already suspicious of Sheldon's story that Trevor attacked him after he'd rejected his sexual advances when they got high on
It's getting
LSD.
so advanced on LSD.
Believes Sheldon's own knife wounds are self-inflicted.
Oh, I'm just guessing it left and right. I said that looks like self-harm.
They suggest Sheldon may have killed his friend in a moment of homophobic fury when Trevor allegedly hit on him.
Wow.
Confronted with the overwhelming case against him, Sheldon finally admits that he did indeed kill his best friend.
Okay, a little camping trip murder. Not good.
He had some deep-rooted problems for him to like snap on your best friend.
I know people who've been in cases like that all the time where it's like I got a little drunk, I got a little ahead of myself. It's not hard to be like, yo, you're crazy. Let's pack this up. Like, you know, let's kill him?
The Todts were from the small town of Colchester, Connecticut, and although Anthony ran his practice there, the rest of the family mainly stayed in Celebration, Florida.
I'm going to Florida?
He had a family emergency. His wife was sick down in Florida and he needed to go. A woman named Cindy, Megan's auntie, kept trying to get in contact with Megan.
What's going on?
Cindy saying they had arrived up in northern Florida, but Megan had lost her phone and that they were going off-grid, and that was
off-grid, always dangerous.
Tony's sister, Chrissy, rang the Osceola Sheriff's Office and requested a welfare check.
See, there you go, smart. Remember, these are your people you know, like you want to make sure they're safe.
From the FBI. Tony Todt, he was under investigation for healthcare fraud.
Oh, who would have thought?
Allegedly billing Medicaid for tens of thousands of dollars for appointments that never happened. They would have patients back 2015, 2016 who stopped needing, physical therapy, and hey, to Tony they did, or at least on paper.
They ran away, but I feel like there's even more. I feel like his family is not
And this time
safe.
He was there. He was chillaxing on the porch.
Just
4 officers arrived.
Alone?
Tony was arrested.
Just hanging out?
And the police went into the house. Megan was found on the master bed. The children on the mattress.
He's just living.
It looked like they had
with dead bodies.
Been there for a while. I'm talking weeks. It was revealed shortly after.
Oh my God.
The family had been murdered. The dog too.
The dog
Tony
too.
had confessed to being the one that did it.
Wow.
While at the hospital.
What a sick individual.
How convenient is it to have 2 different homes? Because, what a great alibi. We're just going to the other house. So it, gives you time before people start thinking something's up.
This was obviously premeditated, in my opinion, and that is not someone who's just having a moment of weakness.
You take out your frustration on your family, your kids, and the dog. This is just a simple case of he's crazy.
Thanks for watching this episode.
Which one of these true crime stories spooked you? Let us know in the comments.
We've got new videos every week. Don't miss out, subscribe.
Bye.
Especially your best friend, and then you put them in the fire. I'm assuming they got together, they made the fire themselves, and then you roast your friend in it. You're not getting off scot-free even if you take a little sniff,